You're all welcome back to Data Analysis with Power BI. Today, we'll be exploring our data on Power Query. Likewise, we'll be exploring the various features of Power Query. Prior to this, we have gone through Power Query in the sense that we always transform data in our Power Query, but we have not actually gone to study what are the concepts of Power Query. Today, we'll be doing that. So, for our data set as use case, I would say from Excel, then I will select it and say open. Then I wait for it to establish the connection, and now I select the data I want, then I click transform data. Now when we say transform data, possibly we want to do some analysis on the data even before moving it into Power BI. Take for instance, we have considered the various columns of this data prior to now, but in our last class, I said that each column has a type. Now, in Power Query, we can see the different types by left clicking on any of the column. Then you scroll down to see where they said change type. If you see it, you will notice that the type text is selected for the order ID. Now, if you do the same thing to order date and you see change type, you will see the type date is selected for the order date. Now, if we explore down subsequently to other columns, now we could also see that if we keep going, the location ID, if we check what is the type, we will see it is a text because it comprises of alphabet and numeric. It is not a specific day or a specific time. Now we keep going now till when we get to the point of sales. Now if we check the type sales, you will notice it says decimal number because on this column you have a decimal point. Like we have the first one, which is 261.96, the third one 14.62. Now all those are the different types in the cells. Then in quantity, if you check the type by clicking on change type, you would see that there it says whole number. Same, we could also check discount. Discount is a decimal number. Now, instead of doing, we also have profit. We could check our profit. Our profit too is a decimal number. Now I've shown you the longer way of checking the type of your data. But in a case where you want to work smart and you have a large number of data for you to explore, a large number of columns. Now, all you have to do is look at the symbol at the right hand side close to the name of the column. Take for instance, before order ID, I have a label that says ABC. If I click it, it automatically shows me from here that it is a type text. Same thing if I go to order date and I click on this icon, I could see that the type of icon there is a date. So with this now, you don't have to always do it one after the other. You can easily be scrolling down and just look at the various data types in your column. Now, that is one big function of Power Query. Power Query allows or automatically detects the type of data that is expected in each column based on the fact that it has known what kind of data is imputed into the column. Now, by the right hand side here, you would see where they say applied step. Applied step. Now, this applied step now, these are the steps Power Query takes to make sure that your data has the right data type. That is a function of Power Query Editor. In subsequent time, we'll continue from here in looking at the various functions of Power Query. Thank you.